Hello and welcome and you're tuning in to our Conf 25 session, What's New with Splunk Cloud Platform and Splunk Enterprise 10.0. We have a lot of really great content for you today. And so let me first introduce myself. My name is Izzy Park. I am a director of product management here in Splunk. I've been here for a little over 8 years. And so I'm joined by my partner in crime, Azmir, if you want to introduce yourself.
Sure thing. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Azmir Mohamed. I'm Director of Product Management at Splunk. I've also been here close to 8 years, and I think this is my 6th conf. Many trips around the sun. And I think, as you know, in the last year, we've become part of the Cisco family, but we've remained committed and focused on the Splunk roadmap and delivering quality and product releases to you. And I think what you'll see this year is where you'll see the first fruits of our labor in terms of the first Cisco and Splunk integrations.
Okay, so as Azmir said, so we've got a lot of really great content. So first, we're going to talk about all of the new things in our Splunk Cloud platform. And then we're going to walk through some of the newer innovations for our Splunk Enterprise feature roadmap, and then we're going to walk through some of the core updates which are applicable for both of our Splunk Enterprise and our Splunk Cloud platform customers. So with that, over to you, Azmir.
I'm going to go ahead and cover the Splunk Cloud platform updates. And I'm going to break that up into 4 major categories: multi-cloud and compliance, minimizing downtime, unified data management, and federation and analytics. What you'll also see is that I'll call out control availability and general availability. We have these phases to make sure that when a feature or product goes broadly to our customer base, we're ready to support you. We've got documentation in place and whatnot. So they're always going to be production ready. We just make control availability to our customers. So with the housekeeping out of the way, let's jump into what's new. So let's start off with our multi-cloud strategy. And why we partner with 3 different hyperscalers: AWS, Google Cloud, and Azure, to deliver our industry-leading SaaS. Our customers have said they need Splunk deployed where their data lives. Data has gravity. And they also want to be able to spend their pre-committed spend with their hyperscaler of choice, right? They don't want us to dictate. And for Splunk, in addition to expanding our direct and partner channels, multi-cloud is the fastest way for us to reach new customers in new markets. So let's take a look and see how we're doing. Today, Splunk Cloud Platform runs in close to 30 different regions worldwide. We are serving customers in North America, Europe, the Middle East, Asia Pacific, and ANZ, with options from AWS, Google Cloud, and Azure in each geography. But honestly, given the rate of expansion that we've been on, I wouldn't be surprised if this map is obsolete by the time this recording airs. We've also been rolling out Victoria Experience globally across all 3 of our hyperscale partners. As a refresher, Victoria Experience unlocks higher scale, more advanced capabilities, and better service experience. For AWS, we are in the process of submitting to the FedRAMP PMO for FedRAMP Moderate. This will allow our public sector customers to take advantage of advanced ACS capabilities and higher service limits for enterprise security. In addition, Victoria Experience is coming to our Google Cloud customers, so sign up for the preview now. Let me give you an update on Splunk Cloud Platform on Microsoft Azure. First of all, it's reached the general availability milestone. Hurrah! Out of the gate, we standardize on Victoria Experience in 4 regions. This allows our customers to reap all the benefits of self-service, automation, and scale that it brings. But we're not stopping with the 4 regions. We're already in process of adding additional regions in North America and the EU. In addition to new Splunk customers, we are also welcoming customers to Azure who are migrating from Splunk on-prem and from other hyperscalers, even those with HIPAA and PCI DSS compliance requirements. Finally, we want to address the most popular use cases for our customers who use Splunk. That means enterprise security, store cloud, and IT service intelligence. Meeting customers where they are on their journey to the cloud is a priority for us. Globally, we support SOC 2, PCI DSS, and HIPAA across all three of our hyperscale partners. We have also invested heavily to support our public sector customers with StateRAMP, FedRAMP Moderate, and FedRAMP High. All of these are in general availability today. In addition to our US public sector customers, we've also invested a lot to address our regional public sector customers globally. This includes IRAP in Australia, ISMAP in Japan, and ACN in Italy. And yet again, all of these are also generally available. We know for many of you, Splunk needs to be always on, and that means supporting your digital resiliency. So how do we meet our uptime commitment to you across that, the rest of those phases? So what we do in region and what options we provide cross regions is how we break this apart. For in region, there are a host of things that we already do around maintaining our 100% SLA for login and search. I want to dive a bit more about the maintenance experience in that. And for cross region, we'll talk a little bit more about disaster recovery. For maintenance experience, we've sharply reduced activities that previously required a downtime. When possible, Splunk will perform changes in the background with minimal impact to you. We also provide you more visibility for Splunk and customer-initiated changes in both CMC and ACS, even for zero downtime changes upon completion. And finally, we give you more to say around any maintenance that you can self-service, and you have better prediction of the impact of that maintenance. Let's talk about cross-region disaster recovery. As a refresher, it's a fully Splunk-managed active standby solution designed to fail over in the event of an AWS region failure. If there is a region failure and an outage, customers can leverage cross-region disaster recovery to recover quickly and return to normal operations out of a standby region. Since we announced cross-region disaster recovery last year, we've actually onboarded customers, and let me share some tidbits of those initial cohort. They're generally split across financial services and healthcare, about an 80-20 split. And by having cross-region disaster recovery, they're closing a compliance gap. They're able to meet their internal app tiering requirements and allows for much broader Splunk use across all arms of their business. Thankfully, though, for our customers, there hasn't been a region failure in this time frame. So there's been no necessity for them to actually test out the capability. However, for them to meet their internal compliance requirements, they actually can do a planned failover test, generally off hours and with no user impact. In addition to providing the basic ability to synchronize your data and replicate the data across two regions, we've also added some new usability enhancements. So we will provide automated customer communications during failover and failback, so that way you are aware when you're running out of the primary or failover region. And via our cloud API, ACS, you can have read view of the secondary stack infra IP addresses during the failover. So it gives you a running status of what's going on. Let's cover data management and federated analytics. Splunk has been on a multi-year journey in terms of both of these critical strategic efforts. Starting with data management, what we mean by that is the ability for us to unify the 4 different kinds of data that you have in your environment. Those are metrics, events, logs, and traces. We can onboard any type of data once using your choice of forwarders, HEC, OpenTelemetry, or Splunk hardware forwarders, heavy forwarders, I should say. Will allow you to do central management of data pipelines to filter, redact, and route your data. And finally, we understand that your span of a data age now is significantly growing, so you need to be able to route and search your data on flexible storage and have a data lifecycle to optimize around storage costs. So Splunk wants to be a partner for you to realize that vision. So what's new in data management? We've announced and demoed ingest processor last year, and we are happy to announce that it is now in general availability, including for our compliance customer. That means PCI DSS, HIPAA, and this is global. We also are continuing to support ingest actions for all of our customers, whether they're on Splunk Cloud Platform, on any of the 3 hyperscalers, or for our Splunk Enterprise customers. And I don't want to steal Izzy's thunder, but she's going to elaborate regarding Splunk's plans to bring our data management experience to our on-prem customers. Let's talk a little bit about federated analytics. As a recap, federated analytics is the practice of performing data analysis on decentralized devices, connected data sources, and cloud points locally. So instead of having to move the data to a central location, you search against them wherever the data is. Federated analytics allows Splunk to be the central pane of glass for customers to handle their security posture wherever their data may lie. So for both data lake indexing and federated search, those are both in general availability. We're also doubling down on adding more data lakes, such as Azure, Cisco Security Analytics and Logging, and Snowflake Data Lakes. So go ahead and sign up for the preview for those options. All right, with that, I'm going to pass it on to Izzy.
All right, thanks, Azmir. So all of you just heard about Splunk Cloud's multi-cloud and compliance strategy, how we're helping Splunk Cloud customers minimize downtime, the latest in our unified data management portfolio, and exciting updates to federation and analytics. Now we're going to shift gears a little bit, and you'll hear the latest updates for our Splunk Enterprise customers, and specifically for our Splunk Enterprise customers, but also core platform updates, which are applicable for all of our customers on the platform. And so before I get there, let's just first talk about how our platform product strategy is evolving and how customers are benefiting from that. As you know, Splunk offers multiple different deployment options that suit various needs. So you can see we have typical deployment scenarios with customers ranging from, I guess, what I would call classic or the traditional way of running Splunk on bare metal to all the way of the other end of the spectrum, which is fully Splunk managed, which is what our Splunk Cloud offering offers. In the last several years, I will say that we have seen kind of an emergence of on-prem customers who operate in the public cloud, which is the third category that you see here. These environments have access to cloud native infrastructure capabilities, such as object storage like S3 or Blob, and then message queuing infrastructure capabilities as well. So you can see and expect that many of our newer advanced capabilities of the platform will be launched here so that you can more quickly take advantage of them. And so Splunk is trying to adapt to where customers are running and optimize for how customers run in those specific environments. There's a way to get many of our features and capabilities to our Splunk on-prem customers, especially faster. All right, so first on the docket, you heard a little bit about this from Azmir earlier. So our edge processor for our on-prem customers is now in general availability. And so these are specifically for customers who are running Splunk on-prem and includes even scenarios for air gap scenarios. And so our Splunk Enterprise customers now have access to our next generation data processing capabilities to filter, mass transform, and route data on the stream or at the edge. And so when you see that you're creating pipelines in the product, you'll know that you'll be dropped into a really brand new data pipeline authoring experience, which utilizes and capitalizes on SPL2, which is our newer data search and prep language for batch and streaming data. And so you'll find that you can be a lot more expressive using SPL2 in this new data pipeline authoring environment, especially when it comes to expressing and authoring data operational tasks. And so a really key essential feature for Edge Processor is a centralized control plane for you to be able to easily deploy Edge Processor nodes, deploy pipelines for easy scaling and manageability. And so make sure you check out, if you're joining with us live in person, make sure you check out the booth on the showcase floor or attend this Conf25 session. All right, another great innovation for both our Splunk Enterprise and Splunk Cloud customers. And so we are very happy to announce the general availability of our agent management capabilities. So Agent Manager version 1.0 brings customers a powerful new solution to simplify and enhance the management of your connected agents. And so agent management is really for our customers who manage hundreds of agents in their deployment and want a scalable way to monitor and manage them. It actually brings together several innovations with some new ones, which I'll explain just in a second, to give customers a very unified and experience that's streamlined. And so there's three capabilities I'd like to highlight. First, as you can see here, that there's an overview page that enables you to see both your connected UF agents and for the first time, OTel collectors. That makes it easier for you to monitor the status and health for both of those UFs and OTel collectors. Second, we've integrated the Splunk Remote Upgrader app capabilities into Agent Manager 1.0. And so if you recall, the Remote Upgrader app empowers users to perform fleet-wide upgrades. And I'm also really happy to announce that we have support for both Linux and Windows operating systems, which is amazing. And lastly, we have a very cool new capability called Effective Configuration, which is a btool-based functionality for understanding and reasoning about what is effectively configured for all connected agents without having to get into the configuration system. There's a lot of really great innovations here, and so please make sure you check out all of the sessions in data management. All right, and there's still more. I'm also very happy to announce that for our Splunk Enterprise customers, we now have a general availability of our Splunk AI Assistant for SPL, or sometimes as I like to abbreviate, SIA. So our SIA app, as a refresher, offers our on-prem customers access to Splunk's very powerful AI capabilities to help our users become even more productive on writing and understanding SPL queries with the assistance of AI. And so customers can do one of three things. They can ask the AI to write SPL in natural language. They can ask the assistant to explain an SPL that you provide in natural language as well and get a summarized feedback on that. And then lastly, you can have general Q&A questions as the AI agent is actually trained on a lot of the publicly available information on Splunk, including our very important Splunk documentation. And so we'll get to see a demo here in just a second, but before that, let me also share with you how this capability will be released to our Splunk Enterprise customers. Okay, so there are two delivery methods for accessing Splunk AI Assistant for SPL. So today, what we have that's generally available is the SIA app that's configured through a cloud-connected configuration, and this is where the on-prem Splunk deployment interacts with the Splunk AI service in the cloud. This is specifically for customers who want quick and easy access to these AI capabilities without having to worry about deploying, procuring, and managing the GPUs on-prem, which can be sometimes cost prohibitive. And then the second approach is our fully managed approach, which is currently in preview for our customers, is for our customers who want to deploy it in a sort of, again, a fully managed approach where you essentially we're asking customers to bring your own GPUs so that they can fully manage all of the hardware and the infrastructure and the management of those nodes to empower the AI assistant. And so these are two different methods. And as I said, the first method is generally available today, and the second currently in preview. So please sign up for that as well. All right. And one more thing. We have launched Splunk Enterprise and Splunk Cloud 10.0, which represents a huge step forward for our customers in a lot of different dimensions. And so for those in the audience, you'll kind of notice that Splunk has now aligned both our major and minor versions together. And so they will both align on that, again, on the major and minor versions. And this was to better reflect that our releases are actually cut from the same branch in our Splunk software development process. And so we hope that you'll find this new streamlined versioning more helpful, and so you can see what is inside of a release since they were cut from the same branch. All right. So some of the key announcements in this, as you heard earlier, we have a lot of really great capabilities on managing data at the edge. And so I'll walk you through in some of the other capabilities here in just a second. And then so Splunk 10 also contains the latest versions of different libraries and the latest cryptographic modules to help you stay secure and compliant. And lastly, we have a lot of new exciting integration capabilities, which I will talk to you about the end of this session. So I'd like to spend just a little bit of time here on talking about how Splunk 10 helps our customers be more secure, compliant, and forward-looking. So first, Splunk 10 enables our customers especially for our customers who require FIPS and FISMA compliance. And so Splunk 10 will be the vehicle that you can use to navigate from FIPS 142 to 143. And so this is not just for customers who are just specifically for FIPS and FISMA, but we know that we have a lot of customers who want to be on the latest versions of TLS, for example, and OpenSSL. And so in 10, we ship TLS version 1.2 by default, OpenSSL 3.0, we're Python 3.9 only, and Mongo 7. We're also leaving some things behind, and so that we can accelerate and prepare for some newer capabilities in the future. Some key deprecations I want to call out are the disabling of unsafe v1 search API. So make sure you test your apps against the Splunk 10 build for that. We're deprecating Hadoop data role. We're removing support for search or hybrid search, and we're also updating a couple of admin and system requirements guidance, such as running non-root on Linux and Darwin distros. We've also made a lot of really great efforts in preparing customers to make this transition. And so you'll see today for our Splunk Cloud customers in the CMC or the Cloud Monitoring Console, you'll see that there's some upgrade checks that you can start running right away to prepare yourself for Splunk 10. And then for our on-prem customers, you'll see a new button light up in the Monitoring Console on the Health Check tab. So you can download some upgrade readiness checks so that you can run before you upgrade to 10. And so make sure you check out for our on-prem customers, make sure you check out the link below on updating the monitoring console. Again, so we know that Splunk, we know that our customers, it's really important for them to be compliant and they care a lot about security. But it's also really important for Splunk to make these changes in order to deliver new experiences that capitalize on newer technologies, libraries, innovation, and even hardware. And so we hope that in the future, you'll be able to see these strategies play out. All right, so now on to our very cool capabilities in search, reporting, and dashboards in Splunk 10. We have amazing new capabilities in Dashboard Studio. One feature I'd like to pick out is we have a feature where users, or I guess dashboard creators, are able to publish and view dashboards without being logged in. This is actually my most favorite feature of Splunk 10, and so this was, I think, a highly requested feature from many of our customers, and so I hope it unlocks really a lot of really great workflows for you to share Splunk with others. We also have a ton of integrations in this release, especially with our Splunk Observability Cloud. So if you are either a Splunk Cloud or an on-prem Splunk Enterprise customer, and also a customer of Splunk Observability Cloud, in Dashboard Studio, you can bring in observability metrics and service maps, for example, for more interactive dashboards. And then in Splunk Search, there's a new feature called related content, where you can drill down within the search reporting interface, drill down to a specific event, and then bring in correlated observability data, for example, on a trace, application service, or an infrastructure component. In our search and reporting area, we also have several permissioning and authorization features, such as configuration of trusted domains for sending out emails. And then also continuing in preview in 10.0 is our field filters feature, which, as a refresher, this allows admins to be able to obscure or remove features at time of search. This is key. At time of search, if users don't have permissions to see it. And lastly, I picked this out feature specifically, but I just want to make this visible. I want to make a special mention For our on-prem customers who want to have a better, want to better organize their index data, we have a brand new CLI tool called bulk data movement, where you can physically move data from one index to another for, let's say you want to better reorganize your data after it's been indexed, or you actually want to physically move subsets of data within an index to a different index that can be marked for deletion. So in 10.0, we support standalone, and so we're working on following that up with supporting clustered environments. And then when that happens, that will become available to both our Splunk Cloud and on-prem customers. So this was originally an idea with over 600 votes on our Splunk Ideas exchange or portal. So thank you very much for your participation and your continued commitment in just engaging with us. So your participation helps us make better products. All right, so I know that there's a lot more capabilities I haven't talked about because we have such a short time here today. So please make sure you check out the release notes on our new and improved Splunk documentation page. So these are just really cool examples of challenges that SPL2 is trying to help solve. And so again, check out these sessions and then our release notes as well. Okay, so you heard Azmir earlier at the beginning talk about our better together path and our path forward with Cisco. And so I'm very happy to announce that we do have some very exciting new integrations for customers of both Cisco and Splunk. So we now have validated and tested reference architecture for running Splunk on Cisco hardware. So this is an offering called Splunk Pod, where we're enabling customers who run on-prem on Cisco hardware. And so we also want to make this available for a lot of different workloads and performance profiles. And we want to the offering simplifies onboarding, setup, main experience across the entire life cycle. So this can span from procurement, ordering the hardware, setup, deployment, right? Not only the hardware, but the operating system and the running of Splunk. And then for ongoing lifecycle operations of running and managing Splunk itself. And so this is all to say that we want to help customers who are both a customer of Splunk and for Cisco to help you save time and effort on managing Splunk. All right, and lastly, Cisco and Splunk is now offering free Cisco firewall logs at no additional cost to your existing entitlements. This is specifically for customers who are ingesting Cisco Firepower firewall logs, and will give up to 5 gigabytes in logging capacity. And so this is an amazing, quick and easy way to jumpstart your journey to monitoring and analytics use cases on firewall logs from Cisco. Okay, well, we are now at the end of our session, and I want to thank you so much on behalf of both myself and Azmir. We know that your time is extremely valuable, and we're so grateful for you to spend some time with us today to learn about what's new in the Splunk platform.